know summer just begun. Party all night until we see the sun. We outside, you know it's going to be a vibe. Get your camera phone, start the Instagram live. Party, 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 yeah, we finna have a time. Hold up, looking at it sideways, but they don't know us. Don't need no extra people, no, we turning up regardless. Got my gang with me, yeah, we came to have a party. She sitting on the sideline, girl, you looking side.
Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. I have been wanting to create this channel for years and just did not know where to start. I've been so intimidated as to where I should start, how to start, and then I went through so much in the past few years that I didn't even know if I could talk about what I'd been going through, if anybody cared. I was so lost in everything that everything went to a halt and to a stop. And now that I'm finally in a space where I have time, energy, and curiosity again, I'm finally ready to start this page. I just want to make sure that you guys know what it's about before you even step foot into it or what you're going to get yourself into. This page is really going to be a miscellaneous page. I am a creative. I create through life. I create through emotion. I'm an emotional artist. But outside of that, I am a huge feeler. I'm an expressionist, and I am a talker. I just don't talk on social media often enough, like on my main platforms, for people to know that I have a lot of depth. You can just see it through my art. So I want this page to be about everything that you don't see when I'm posting. And unless you don't follow my stories, because I'm always in my stories posting about things. But I really just wanted to create this YouTube channel for people that are like me. I'm going to be 34 years old in 2 weeks. Shout out the cancers. But I have restarted. And it was a lot to take. It was a lot to just realize and take accountability for. I've been through so much in the past 5 years that it now feels kind of like it's disconnected from me. It doesn't feel as heavy and as big anymore. So I feel like I can actually like talk on it. And I didn't create this YouTube channel for fear of so many things. Fear of myself, fear of expectation, fear of time, fear of people, fear of my past and people coming up from my past. But I'm in a space now where I just don't care anymore. I want to talk. I want to show people that you could have X amount of thousands of followers on social media and still live a life that's not perfect. Still live a life that you don't feel is successful. Still feel a life where you have to put responsibility before your wants and needs and desires, you know? And just show people that you could be 34 years old and start over. So a little bit of things about me and background and what's been happening. So I moved back to New York in 2024 after what I like to call my 9/11 year. 2022, everything that I knew life to be, everything I knew myself to be, came crashing to a halt. And from then on, I literally had to start from rock bottom, or my 9/11 ground zero. I lost pretty much everything. I lost my best friend. I lost my relationship with my ex. I lost my apartment. I lost my finances. I lost pretty much what I believed to be my career. And I almost lost myself and my mind. I was in a very dark space, and I did not feel like the people that were around me were there to really like help pull me out of it. And I really needed them to, because I was not strong enough to do it myself. And I truly believed that all the people that I had poured into for so long and gave so much to would pour back into me when, you know, the knock came calling for me to need it. And that didn't happen. I was told, you know, I'm not you. I was told that nobody could save you but you. I was told so many things other than, what do you need? How can I show up for you? What's the best that I can do in this moment? You know, and even if some people did, I did not have the answers. I did not have the healthy mind to be able to answer those questions for myself or for them. I really just needed someone to show me that I mattered, that I was valuable, and they valued me. And there was a very small group, literally I can count less than five of my fingers, that was outside of my family, that reached out like that and that held that branch to me and made sure that I am still here. They made sure I ate. They made sure I was still breathing. They made sure I was getting enough sleep. You know, there were times I couldn't even afford food, and so I just wouldn't eat, you know? And they checked in on me. They let me cry about the same thing over and over and over and be unhealthy, like make the unhealthy decisions just to try to learn for myself and try to get it out of my system. But they made sure to stay there for me. And I really needed that because I was so gone. I was a shell of myself. Like I could look in the mirror and not even recognize what I was looking at. I would look in the mirror and be disgusted. I would look in the mirror and hate every last thing I saw reflecting back at me. And for the people that stayed around for that, the people that helped pull me out of that, like, I am so grateful. My family and friends included. So I was not in the space to create this YouTube channel. I was not in the space to create anything. And eventually I did delete my social media accounts. I took a step away from everyone. I ended friendships. I pretty much needed to self-isolate myself if I really truly wanted to heal, because I was so triggered by everything and anything around me. Like I was so hypersensitive. It wasn't good. I was a danger to myself. And it felt like my mind was turning against me. And so I needed to cut the umbilical cord. I needed to cut off all the things that were toxic to me and for me, no matter how much it hurt. And boy, did it hurt. Like letting go my best friend in the world, who I felt I needed. Like I had such a deep and very unhealthy emotional attachment to her that felt like spiritual. It felt like I needed her, and I felt like eventually I grew to a space where I did not know how to make a decision without her input, which is weird because that's never happened for me. I've always been a very strong-minded, individualistic person, to the point where it felt like I second-guessed everything I ever thought or did unless I had her input on it. I let go of a relationship that I thought was the love of my life, you know. I let go of other friendships, and people let go of me, you know. And in this isolation, I moved away. I did not really tell many people where I was at. I stayed away from the areas I used to frequent. I got a job, and I just worked and stayed where I was. And deleting the social media helped because I wasn't triggered by comparing myself as I was trying to heal. Because that is the thief of joy. And I started to see that. Even during all the toxic mental health, decline, I saw that when I would go onto social media and I would see these people that I'm no longer speaking to, or I would see things that other people that I don't even know are doing, I would get to a very dark and sad space. And so I decided that, you know what, if I really truly want to heal, if I want to get better, then I need to just rid myself of everything. And so I did. And in that year, I grew. In that year, I found confidence again. I found love for myself. I found another really good friend who really helped bring me back to myself. He was a coworker of mine, and he saw a light in me that I didn't even see myself. He made me feel as if I was one of the coolest people in the entire world that he's ever met, and would allow me just to be, because I'm a moody bitch, and if I was in a mood, he would sit through it with me. He was just so curious. And I needed that again. I needed to feel that someone was curious about me. And he was so respectful and just I can't say anything bad about him. I can't, like, he is such a light to my world that I am so grateful that I had met him. You know, I really truly needed that. And then eventually I moved back to New York in 2024. And I got the opportunity to become a homeowner. And I got the opportunity to kind of start over again, you know, with something to call my own. And I think that that was one of the biggest struggles, was the fact that I did not feel like I had anything to call my own outside of my car, which I still also did not fully own because I was paying it off, but it was the only thing that was under my name, you know? And when I got my home, I finally felt like, okay, I have something that is mine. I have a space where I can go, I can heal, I can cry, I can create. It's a blank slate, and it was the blank slate that I needed. And from then, I've just been growing. I transferred jobs. I transferred from my job in Florida, and I transferred to a new job up here. And I've just been, since, in the past year and a half, almost, honestly, July 2nd will make 2 years that I've been in New York. In the past 2 years, I've just been working on slowly rebuilding myself. That means I have gone back to school, because after 15 years of dropping out, I finally came to the decision that I wanted to get a degree in what I love the most. Because after 15 years, it wasn't just a phase. It was my life, and it still is my life. And so I'm getting a degree in fine art for now, and then I'll be getting a BA in another area. And going back to school has not been easy. Trying to work and go to school full time, 7 days a week, while I'm in this space where I'm finally back in myself, where I finally feel like I'm ready to love, I'm ready to grow, I'm ready to build, create, and just be outside. And I feel like I'm shackled because I have way more responsibilities now than I ever had in my life. I have way more bills and debt now than I've ever had in my life. And it's finally like, damn, I'm back in this space where I feel like me again. I see Jasmine, I see Nicole, I feel both of those energies so strongly that I can see the world. It was like a veil was finally taken off of my head, and I could see everything and myself for what it was. And here I go, gotta work, gotta go to school, and gotta be responsible. When I had so much time, 2020, 2021, 2022, I had so much time, but I was in such a dark space that I got lost in it, in the sunken place. So now here I am picking my life back up. You know, I am, yes, working, and probably gonna have to get a second job while also still juggling school, because there are things that I want to do, but I can't do right now because, one, I don't have the means, two, I don't have the time, and three, I don't have the energy. Like, being 35 compared to 25 is completely different. And while I've always had a lot of energy and been a very energetic person, I am mentally tired, and I am just physically tired. You know, I have a lot more weight on my shoulders in this time of my life than I did before, but I'm in a much stronger mental space where I can have these moments and know that I'm working towards something. And then the foundation that I'm building is way more supportive and way more stable than it's ever been, because the foundation I was building in my 20s was not strong enough. I was literally just taking everybody's dirt and clay and adding it to my foundation and thinking that it was going to be great, and it wasn't, you know, and it ended up crumbling. My little globe, my little foundation of my house, everything just started crumbling. And I'm in a space now where I'm building that foundation for myself and by myself. And it's hard. Like, I see some of my peers, I see so many people that weren't even in the space that I was in, but now have taken off and surpassing, you know? And again, comparison is the thief of joy. Should not be comparing myself, but it is something that I witness, and it is something that I see that I want for myself, because, you know, I feel like I deserve it, and I feel like I've worked hard enough, but I'm also still in a space where I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck I want. Like, one day it's this, one day it's that, and they all are riding parallel to each other, but I still do need to figure out what it is that I want out of my life. And all the ideas and all the things that I'm doing, again, they're all hovering around each other and they all make sense and they can all fit into one space, but I really need to just grab it and hold on to it and really put that work in there. And it's just been really hard, and it's been a very lonely journey. Yes, I do have friends still, and I have friends that love me and check in on me, but for the most part, I am still very much by myself most and majority of the time. Most of my friendships and most of everything is over the phone, through social media. I do have a very close, best friend that does live in New York, but she has so much going on in her life that I want to make sure that she is doing that, because she's on her journey and I'm on my journey, and I can't have what happened to me with my last friendship happen in this friendship. And so I am a little bit more reserved, and I am holding people more at arm's length than I used to before, because one, I don't want to get hurt like that again, and two, I don't even remember how to get close to people like that anymore. It was such a traumatic experience that I think my brain kind of just erased it, and I don't really remember how to connect with people in that way anymore, making friendships and stuff like that. But my discernment is also a lot stronger, and I have to, when I meet people, ask if that's what I want for myself. So it is a lonelier journey. And what's even worse is, in the midst of all of that, from about 2020 to now, my ideas of belief and religion and God and all of that came screeching to a halt. In 2020, 2021, I was agnostic. 2022, I became atheist. And it was just like, I didn't have a belief in anything. I was so gone and disconnected that I just ended, like, anything, nothing felt real, nothing. I questioned literally everything. And now I'm in a space where, yes, I'm still not religious, and I still don't have a belief in a theological God, but I am considering myself to be something called a pantheist, where I believe in energy and transformation, and I believe the energy can never die. It only transforms into something else. I do believe in reincarnation, and I do believe in an interconnected consciousness. And I'm kind of just making my own way through that, but it was a very lonely journey, especially to be so public, because the internet is not forgiving. And the minute you denounce God, a lot happens and a lot comes with that. And it was not the type of smoke that I wanted. And I needed to go through that alone. And I felt like I was going through that alone, because everyone around me was like, girl, you're crazy. What do you mean? Or didn't believe with me and didn't, I was in it alone. I was the only person I knew that didn't believe in God, the way that I was going about it, until I did connect with my best friend now. And she is also in a very similar space as I am when it comes to the belief system. And it made me feel so much better, being surrounded by people telling me like, oh, it's okay, it's just a phase, or, I'm gonna pray for you, and, all those things that don't make me feel good, because when you tell me your beliefs, I'm not sitting here trying to denounce your God, so, and it has been very hard to date. It has been hard to just connect with people when, that conversation does come up of like, listen, I don't believe in follow religion. I don't follow or believe in a God. And it's made it hard to connect with people because compatibility. And I'm very big on that now, versus chemistry, because to me, chemistry is fleeting. And I've learned that now. I can connect with anybody. I'm a connector when it comes to being able to find something to relate to somebody with and running with that, especially because I have a Leo Venus. I'm the queen of, whether it be friendship, platonic, romantic, I could find anything to feel connected to somebody with in that moment, with the chemistry just high and that sparking, and then it dies out, it fizzles out, or there's issues. We're actually not compatible. We're actually not on the same page, So I'm definitely learning how to really deal with that and really have that type of discernment now. Am I conquering it? I mean, I have my moments. Dating is still not easy. Like, I've still yet to find a man that has not lied to me when it comes to certain things that I want and do not want out of a relationship. You know, every man tells me he does not want children. Then come to find out as we're dating, oh yeah, I want children. Or the same thing with marriage. You know, I tell them I don't want to be married, and yeah, me neither. I don't want marriage. It's really not the ends all be all, blah blah blah. To the next thing, I want a family and I want a wife, and you know, or even with the God thing. You know, I'll be like, hey, like, have the conversation of, you know, I don't really follow God, and them saying, yeah, me too, I'm spiritual. Like, I just call him God, but like, you know, there's more than that. But then wanting me to go to church with them, you know, like weird shit like that. Like, I'm not lying to anybody when I meet them. I'm laying all my cards on the table of this is who I am, take it or leave it, you know, and then they just can't do the same. So it's been hard navigating these friendships, these relationships. But I'm still here. I'm still doing it. I'm still building my life. I'm still basking in the essence of me and all that I am. My hair is still growing. My hair is still growing and growing a lot and growing very fast. I did just dye it. Very happy. And yeah, my plants are thriving. I'm trying to learn how to keep a clean house. I'm working out. For the first time in my life, I'm in the gym. I still am trying to figure out the whole diet thing. Food for me is still not a very favorite thing. Like, I don't mind food. When I'm hungry, I don't care. I'll eat. You know, if the food is made for me, I'll eat. If the food is bought for me, I'll eat. But I think 2022, I developed a food insecurity because I was so broke that I would skip meals. And now food for me is like I'm counting pennies constantly. How much is this going to cost me? You know, and then I'm not a cooker. You know, I can cook, but I cook just to survive. Like, I don't cook in the essence of I love to do it, or that I even know what I'm doing, you know, and it gives me a lot of anxiety when I cook. So food for me has always just been such a touchy subject, but yet everybody's telling me that if I'm in the gym, I need to, you know, eat maybe 2 more meals a day than I'm already eating. And that, I don't know how to have the conversation with them about food, because people look at me like I'm crazy. Like, what do you mean you don't love food? What do you mean, you know? And I was just like, I don't know how to explain it to you guys. Food for me is just like, if I didn't have to eat, like, to me, it's one of the most tedious, mundane characteristics of being a human, outside of having to use the bathroom and drink water. I think eating, like, if I had the choice to not eat, or maybe eat once a month like a snake, I probably would. I probably would forego food. And that's just how I feel about it. You know, like, I don't have eating disorder. I'm not starving myself on purpose to be thin, or I don't have body dysmorphia. I'm not bulimic. I don't have any type of like ED associated with my image or whatever. It's mostly in the sense of like, I eat when I feel the hunger. And if I don't feel the hunger, then I don't eat. And I don't care to eat. I'm not looking for food. Food is not a subject for me that I'm like so happy to have a conversation about. If I'm not hungry, I'm not thinking about food, you know? It's just, that's just the way it is for me. And then when I do have to eat and I have to think about what I want to eat, I'm like, yo, like, I don't even, like, what does my body want? What do my taste buds feel like eating right now? Because I don't even know, you know, like, that's what it is for me. So long story short, because now we're about 20 something minutes in, I just really want this page to just be me showing you guys what it's like, truthfully, to be in your 30s, to be a creative, to be a woman, to be finding and on the path of your journey, to not know what the fuck you want from life, to not know what you want from anything. You know, I have days where I have a strong idea, and I have days where I'm like, no, I don't know anymore, you know? And I really just want to create a community where, and a space where we can do that. So this is my channel. We're going to talk about art. We're going to talk about love. We're going to talk about sex. We're going to talk about dating. We're going to talk about ADHD, being undiagnosed. We could talk about plants. makeup, hair, working out, like social media, friendships, all the things. I want to talk about it all. I want to document where I'm at. Oh, yeah. Also, like mushrooms. I do mushrooms. For anyone from my past, I've been straight edge my whole life, up until 2022 when I had a manic episode. And instead of going on antidepressants, I decided that I was going to do a mushroom trip and do an ego death. Straight from never drinking, never smoking, never doing a drug in my life or anything, straight jump, nose dive right into mushrooms. But it was to save my life, and ultimately it did. It did save my life. It helped me regulate and learn how to self-regulate. And I'm very grateful for the plant medicine and to my mother, Sin, who really helped me through that journey. Another cancer. Thank you. But yeah, I really just want to come on here. This is my very first episode. I still don't know what the hell I'm doing with this or where I'm going to take this page. I just know I want to post, I want to be consistent, and I want to meet you guys. I want to talk to you guys. I want to show you guys that you are not the only one going through it. I want to show you guys that life is not perfect. I want to show you guys that even as a social media content creator, as a woman who has over 50,000 followers, as a person who at one point felt like they were finally making it and doing the damn thing, to feeling like they had nothing, I want to talk about it all with you guys, and I want to be vulnerable. I want to be transparent, and I want to keep it as real as possible. So I hope you guys enjoy my very first episode. I'm probably going to do like a whole collage of just the past few years or whatever. I'm still trying to learn how to edit YouTube videos. I'm still trying to learn a lot of things in my life right now. But I'm going to try to be consistent, and just know that it's all coming from love, and that you guys are on this journey with me. So for those who give a fuck enough to even be watching it this long, I appreciate you. And I can't wait to share this journey with you. All right. Thank you for episode 1 of the Jasmine Diaries. All right. Bye.